Hello, I'm Colin Thomas, and this is a PowerPoint about English for my computer apps class. So, without hesitation, let's jump right in. This is going off a script, and what I'm basically going to do is talk about each slide individually. There will be no individual text on the slide. It will all be represented by the picture in the background. Okay, everybody got that? Good. Alright, now this is how to construct a sentence. Oh, we better get...
Hey,
Alex, go away.
we're shouting
Alex, go away.
No.
Okay, so the basic constituent structure analysis of a sentence. This is basically how you construct a sentence. You need to use a sentence, a verb, and a phrase. And you split it from a noun phrase or a prepositional phrase, and from that you can split it on into further things. Now, the structure and analysis of a sentence. Can you shut the door?
Yeah.
And you can see how this all splits up into a sentence, like the cat sat on the mat. Now this begins with an article, a noun, a verb, a preposition, and an article, and ends with a noun. The basic structure of a sentence is important in playing a role in something such as you can't have an incorrectly proportioned sentence. Okay? It's hard. You can screw up easily when it comes to doing that. I'm sorry, I'm terrible at this. I hate going off scripts. Okay, so on to the next slide. Okay, so this is basically a entire thing about Shakespeare. Shakespeare was a playwright. I didn't particularly like him, but he liked to write drama. He liked to make plays that were historically relevant, and he made poems. He made stories. He was basically a writer who found great inspiration by the Queen, because he actually wrote Romeo and Juliet for the Queen because she liked comedy, and that story had some comedy. There was some comedy. It's just hard to understand because it's so outdated. And well, Shakespeare, apparently this brilliant man. I guess he learned how to make literature, modernist essays. He definitely did know how to use hyperboles. Like there was one in Juliet where, well, no, I guess that doesn't apply. See, I guess, okay, moving on. Now, this is a picture of 5 little colored people talking. Like, there's red one, orange one, green one, blue one, and indigo or purple. Anyways, these people are talking to each other, but this represents something different. What I'm going to segue into here is something about how speaking your specifically constructed sentence is important. Because if you can't convey the message through a properly spoken sentence, then that is bad. Because, well, if you can't speak correctly, then you're going to have trouble communicating not only what you're trying to get across, but you're going to have trouble communicating to everyone on such important matters as feelings, as emotions. I guess those are two of the same thing. And most importantly, you're not going to know how to interact, because without proper grammar and without proper speech patterns and clumped together pieces of, correctly clumped pieces of words, then you could make a proper sentence, correctly conveying your ideas, theology, and most importantly, feelings and ideas. Now, yes, this PowerPoint is basically about English, and, well, this is Britain, so I guess that's kind of English. But English isn't always about talking like incorrect sentences. It's not always about talking like that. But, it can sometimes be about that, but not all the time. Now, this is from a video game, actually, a educational part of a video game where you actually have to construct parts of sentences together. I mean, words together to make. You have to put letters to make words. This is a terribly written script, I'm sorry. So you have to put all these letters together. Like, you can make LEM. This is from the video game Bully, by the way. You can put the words together, and then you put them there, and you do it before time limit and stuff. I thought that was applicable to the situation, because we did learn how to spell. It was very brief, but, you know, everything's included. So, on to the next slide. Now, William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. This was basically the movie. It was high resolution, so you know I had to take it. But Romeo and Juliet is basically the love story about these two people who are from like opposite dimensions, and they get along together so much that they get married in like one night. Even though they're each other, they didn't go on one date or nothing. I find it ridiculous. I don't think it's particularly well written literature. I don't like it. But this PowerPoint isn't about my opinion, is it? It's about informing you. No, it's not about that. It's about making a project for a class. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay, so Romeo and Juliet was basically about Romeo, this guy from the certain house. I believe he was from the Montague. And no, was see, this is I didn't like it so much that I can't remember. He was from the Capulets. No, he was from the Montague. Okay, Romeo's the Montague and Juliet's the Capulet. I think. Yes. And basically, the opening poem says something about two star-crossed lovers take their lives. As most people know, they do commit suicide at the end. Spoiler alert, I apologize for not doing that in advance for people who didn't know. I really do. I mean, I don't try to spoil it for you. Okay, next slide. Now, commas. These are most important things in the world, as you can see right here. Instead of saying, let's eat grandpa, it's saying, let's eat grandpa. See, they save lives. Now, commas always have to be placed properly, which is actually what we're currently learning about. They have to be placed properly, and they have to use the correct term and sentence. So you can't say, you know, let's eat grandpa, because, well, first of all, it's cannibalistic. Can't do that in this modern society. You'll get charged for it. Second of all, it's not proper sentence structure. You can't use it if it's not proper sentence structure because, well, there are a lot of people who don't like using bad grammar. Okay, next slide. Now, very low resolution picture of the Odyssey. This was thought to be one of the first literatures ever created by this guy named Homer. Not Homer Simpson, but indeed Homer. No last name or nothing. Which was basically about this hero from the island of Ithaca named Odysseus. See, because of the name Odyssey, you can get why that's. See, the entire thing is a pun. That's how clever Homer was. Basically, he goes to fight in Troy and he angers the gods because he says, I don't need none y'all, I'm so good. And then they're like, oh yeah, well, take this, lightning bolt. And it's like this whole thing about lightning bolts and stuff. And Poseidon throws him off course, and pretty much his entire crew gets eaten and stuff. Spoiler alert. Okay, shut your ears if you don't want to hear this. His crew gets eaten, and they all die somehow, some way, someday. And he does make it back after like so many years, and he's like, oh my god, my family. And he's like, yay. And he's like, my son's grown so high, so tall. And he's like, and they're all sad. Because he disguises the old man using the help of the gods, which was the main method of how he got home, using the gods that he didn't anger. Because he stabbed like a cyclops in the eye, and that wasn't necessarily fun. Because he had to like make it out while the big stone was out of the way, and one of his crew got eaten. His head got eaten off, spoiler alert. Alright, and spoiler alert, you guys can, alright, next slide. Now, we talked about this a little bit. What makes a hero? This is actually the subject of a final exam essay. I didn't particularly choose these answers, but they were there. I mean, I searched for images and this was there. So, heroes are people who show courage. Yes, they are. They make our lives better. They certainly do, and they help others in need. So yeah. Now, grammar. I can't stand bad grammar. I wouldn't call myself a grammar Nazi, but I'm not a grammar, smooth guy. I just hate when people use bad grammar. Now, we did a coat of arms project. Then we read about the most dangerous game. This isn't in chronological order. I'm all over the place. The most dangerous game was basically when this guy falls off a boat and swims to this island, and this guy's taking good care of him, and he's like, oh, well, this guy's nice. Then he turns out he's doing like this cannibalistic game because this guy's a hunter, but then, oh my god, he turns bad and he wants his people to like, not kill him. And he hunts him, and spoiler, the evil guy dies at the end. Alright, there you go. And that was it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and, yeah. Where is screencast?